So SQL is basically it's a basic program. Please go on mute.
Sorry, Suresh. We are getting some disturbance. Could you please?
Yeah, I'm asking to go on mute. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, feel free to type in chat window. I will answer all your questions. So most of the people already having knowledge on SQL, and some people don't have any knowledge on SQL. So my main intention is to conduct this session is there are a lot of people having knowledge on different areas. Some people working on Power BI, some people working on ETL tools, and some people started working on different technologies. So there are different kind of audience you can see in our participants. So I'm considering everyone. So I'm helping. My main intention to start from zero. Even if you know, please cooperate. If you are eligible to attend this session, please continue, or else we can drop. I know some people are already having knowledge. They are working on SQL from long time. But so to consider everyone. So this session is basically designed for every day. I'm going to give assignment 5 questions what we are going to learn today. We need to solve those questions and then only we are going to move to the next topic. Like that, every day it is going to plan for different questions, set of questions we need to solve on your own, and then immediately come back with the next day topic. So that's how we design this course. Like it is going to help, and you need to think. So it's not like simply today we are going to learn create statement, tomorrow we are going to learn this statement. It's not like that. So everything, it's basically all the sessions is it's going to be assignment oriented sessions. I'm going to guide the people like, so this is what we need to learn. This is the purpose of this command, and we are going to use this command for particular reason. So just you need to explore on your day, and you need to come back with your own knowledge and try to understand why we are going to use, how we are going to use those topics. So that is the main intention of this session. So basically, so most of the people already attended different sessions and different courses, but all these sessions is going to be useful. If you want to attend the next day session, you should get clarity on today's session. That is very important. If you are ready to take this challenge, then only we can continue this session. If you are not ready to take this challenges, it's kind of simply I am teaching something, you are listening, so that these sessions won't be helpful. That is clear. So we need to take it as an assignment. We need to explore how it is going to help. So based on that, it is going to be open assignment oriented sessions. So everything is going to, once you are coming with a fresh mind, you don't have any knowledge. But tomorrow, after some time, after 1 week or after 2 weeks, you feel proud of yourself, like, yeah, I have something on SQL. This is the purpose of using SQL. This is how we have to think and solve the problem whenever you are talking with someone, whenever you are attending interviews, whenever you are doing something. So you have to understand. Simply you don't get. So what is the purpose of create statement? What is the purpose of alter statement? What is the syntax of alter statement? It's not the way we are going to learn. See, if some situation come, what command we have to use exactly. So how we need to understand the syntax for that command. We need to understand in depth, like everything we have to. If something come, you are in a position to answer that question. That is how you have to think with your mind. That is the expectation from everyone, whoever interested to register, we are interested to continue these sessions. This is very interesting sessions, and it is the way we are going to conduct this session is something different. It's not like I'm going to give some topic and I'm going to teach and you are listening. It's not like that. I'm going to give some assignment. So let's say, how many of you know SQL? How many of you new to the SQL? Please share in your share chart window so that I can understand why we are here. So what is the purpose of attending these sessions? So please feel free to share so that I can get some idea. So why? Because most of the
yes, that will
Sorry, please type in chat window. I will try to address your questions later. So whatever it is, just please type in chat window and why you are here for attending this session. So I don't want to waste anyone's time. So some people already having knowledge on SQL, and they want to brush up their knowledge. It will helpful. So my main intention is to, from zero, everybody should think on their own, should write their own queries, joins, subqueries, set operators, some little complex queries they can able to develop on their own. That is the main expectation of this course. This is mostly we are conducting 2 weeks time, like around 15 days course. Every day we are going to start from zero. Today I'm not going to discuss anything. Most of the time we are trying to understand the plan of this course, and tomorrow onwards we'll try to start, and I will tell you today one assignment before coming tomorrow's session. You have to come up with that task. So before starting tomorrow's session, all you guys get ready with that data, how to get the data, from where to get the data, all that information I will provide, and we have to execute, we have to get that. Anyway, I'm going to teach tomorrow. Let's see how many of you come up with your own knowledge and try to finish that. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to discuss those points in next day's session, whatever questions I'm giving. Next day, I'm going to spend some time, 5 to 10 minutes time to understand those questions, and I will share the answers to those questions. Don't try to by heart the questions. Don't try to by heart what you are trying to learn. Try to understand the logic and try to implement that logic on your data, so that it is going to helpful for that. Okay. Now, so yeah, I can see the different messages, different people sharing, like they're having knowledge on SQL, they are new to SQL. There are different kind of people. So most of the people learning different technologies and working different technologies. So what is the purpose of using SQL? Why we need to use SQL? So without SQL, there is no job. Most of the 70% of the jobs directly, indirectly generating at least support with SQL, but we never get opportunity to learn SQL in the project as well. Why it is having that much demand? So if we have 100 companies, there is no company having without database. All the companies having their own database. So why? Because what is the meaning of database? Companies wanted to store their data. Companies wanted to, any supermarket, they are running some business, like morning to evening, they are selling some products. They need to maintain the data. And also they need to understand whoever coming, whoever going, what product customer is purchasing. That is also some information you need to store. And also there is some data which is going to, like we are going to bank every day. We are going to do some activities, like any bank you are going. So we are going to do some activities, like what kind of activities you are going to do and how you are going to do those activities. Like you are withdrawing amount or depositing something, you are opening some loan. There are some different activities performing. That information where that is going to store is going to store data in the form of tables. And also there is we have some banking sector and also e-commerce, Flipkart, Amazon. You are purchasing something where all the data is going to come and retrieving the data, all the data that is going to land in the database. And in the same way, everywhere without data, there is no business at all. So if you want to interact with the data, if you want to do some action with the data, SQL is very important. If you are working for some organization, now around 50 plus people joined this session. Now I want to track the information, whoever joined, whoever joined, and what is his qualification, from where it's joined. So I need to track the data. I want to analyze my business, how the students are coming. So definitely all this information is going to store somewhere in the tables, and I need to retrieve that data. I need to perform some operations on top of that data. So for that, we need some database. So we need some database, like there are some hundreds of databases available in the market. So what are the different databases you heard so far? What are the different databases you worked? You just feel free to communicate through the chat window so that it's going to be interesting. So just try to communicate as much. So it's good to having the interactive session so that I can understand what you guys are working, what you are doing. So yeah, some people telling like MongoDB, and most of the people, whoever coming from the colleges, they are heard about Oracle. So Oracle and SQL Server. So most of the people, which database you are working, they are telling like SQL. So freshers, most of the people, what is SQL? SQL is a language which is used to interact with your database. It's not that database. There is some databases like Oracle that's developed from the Oracle organization. And also there is some database like SQL Server. See, SQL Server that is developed by the Microsoft. And there is some database MySQL. So I noticed most of the people worked on MySQL as well as SQL Server. Don't think like SQL Server, MySQL also having SQL. That is also some language. So there is a difference between database and the SQL. This is very, very important question I faced at the time of college time. I don't know anything about what is database and what is SQL. Both are same, right? That's how I felt at that time. Later I realized like this is not the same. There is a lot of difference between database and SQL. So most of the people are aware of it. So database is nothing but which is used to store the information, which is used to store some information. But SQL is not it is not going to store any information. It is going to help us to retrieve the data. It is going to help us to see the data, what kind of information you are storing in the database. So that is the difference between. So there is another question. What is the difference between MySQL and SQL? This is also confused question. Sometimes you'll get this kind of questions in freshers. If you don't have knowledge, if you know a lot of things, you know how it is going to work, what to do, but this is a very, very fundamental question everybody should understand. So what is the difference between SQL and MySQL? So any idea? Can you answer in chat window? What is the difference between SQL and MySQL? So MySQL is the database. Just now we discussed. So SQL is the language. This is very, very important point. So just I know most of the people already aware of. Just to brush up our knowledge, I'm going to start from this scratch level. So SQL is a language which is going to communicate, which is going to, if you want to talk, now we are talking, everybody having different locations. Some people attending from US, some people attending from Australia and UK. So, and I want to communicate. What is a common language? Everybody were communicating. English is the language is going to communicate each other. It's very difficult to communicate with the local language. That means it is restricted to some region. Now, in the same way, even if you are getting 100 databases or 1000 databases coming into the market, the language which is going to interact with the database is same. That is called SQL. If you know SQL, you can able to work any kind of database in this world. So every day some new databases coming into the market. Like, so last 10 years, 15 years, there are too many databases, like most of the people working on Oracle and SQL Server, MySQL. These are all the most of the people are aware of. Now trend is changed. Now everybody moving to cloud. Now people talking about cloud technologies. So what difference is there in cloud technology compared to Oracle and SQL? There is no much difference. Everything is the same. Our mindset should change. Like, yeah, that is also one database. If you know the SQL, we can able to explore that. We can able to learn that. That is very easy. The data where it is storing, whether that data is going to store in the cloud or some servers. It's not our job. What is our job as a developer? Our job is to just to interact with the database wherever it is. We don't bother about how the data is getting stored, but our job is to interact with the data. We are going to just trying to understand how to interact with the data. So what is the language it's required to interact our data? It should be SQL. So SQL is the structured query language which is going to help irrespective of any database. Like imagine having their own database, AWS. Most of the people feel like, oh my God, cloud, I don't know. I never worked on cloud. Is it really, I can able to manage my job? That is the fear we are having. But if you know the SQL, you can interact with the AWS, you can start working with the Azure, or you can start with the Google, or you can start with the any kind of databases, data warehouses, any cloud technologies also. The fundamental thing everybody should understand is the SQL is the most common language. Everybody who ever trying job in software, who wanted to explore their skills, this is the most preferred language which will help us to develop our skills. This is very, very important. Okay, now just I'm building confidence on everyone. Like, don't look at the things differently. Oracle is different, SQL is the different, and MySQL is different, AWS is different, Azure is different. That's how companies categorize their business in different areas. As a developer, as a software engineer, as a knowledge person, we have to think like pizza, wherever you are eating, they are using the same content. The outside layout shop is different. Whether it is a Domino's or it is a Pizza Hut or it is a local, the content what they are using same. So, but the shape and everything is same, but the way they are preparing, the way they are executing the business is different. This is what happening in the different databases and different people are working. The execution model is, if you have experience on creating the pizza, you can able to work on Domino's, you can able to work on Pizza Hut or any other stores. But the only concept is same. The process is same. In the same way, if you know the SQL, which technology you are working, whether you are belongs to Power BI or you are belong to Informatica developer, or you are something like data stage or some cloud, any ETL, any reporting, Tableau, anywhere, this is the common language, but the front side view is different. But in the background, what is happening everywhere is a common, that is called SQL. This is very, very powerful language. Most of the people are getting ignored, and after that they are trying little advanced courses, but they are ignoring the basic thing what we need to learn. If we have the very fundamental knowledge on SQL, you can able to, let's say you already started working on one tool. So what is happening? Companies suddenly they change their requirement. So after 6 months, so boss, you are not going to work on this particular tool. You need to switch to some other technology. You have only 1 week time. Just we need to grab the skill and start working on it. So that's how we'll get suddenly our manager get the requirement. So we'll get panic like what I can do. So they can understand what is the core knowledge required to understand this business. If you have core knowledge, SQL knowledge, you can easily understand the concepts. You can easily adopt the new things. That is the expectation from our manager. So that if you have the knowledge, all the tools, technologies are, there are too many tools are available, but the concept behind the thing is same. That is called, we have to explore our knowledge in SQL. Okay, clear? Any questions, feel free to raise in chat window. If you are getting bored, please feel free to left the meeting. Anything is fine. So if you are interested, just keep comments in chat window so that I can understand whether you guys are following, it is going to useful, or you are getting different opinion. Feel free to communicate in chat window. So anything fine. Okay, thank you everyone. So now let's start our journey with the SQL. So mostly from tomorrow, we are going to continue this session by 7:30 to 8:15 or 8:20, and we'll take questions after 5-10 minutes. That's how we plan this session. So this is basically, it's a 15 days session. So as I discussed earlier, we are going to understand what are all the different concepts, what are all the different information it is going to use. So what are the different commands we are going to use. So all those points we can able to understand. Now, let me share something.
Hi Suresh, sorry for the interruption. I just want to know the difference between DBMS as well as RDBMS also. So actually I don't know anything. So that's the reason I am asking.
Yeah, I will tell you that. So so we'll share the information where we'll get that knowledge as well. So yeah, we'll share that information later, Venkat. Let's try to jump into. I'm not going to cover most. So most of the theory, I'm trying to jump directly into the practical so that you feel the practical exposure. The theoretical things will get the information Google or anywhere, but so everybody should get the hands-on on the knowledge. That's the reason we are going to focus practically. So we'll give the knowledge whatever we have question. Okay. So we have, these are all the different topics we are going to start. So it's divided into different categories like what are all the different commands it is going to use, DDL commands and DML commands and data retrieval commands. So transactional commands and data control languages. So there are different commands it's categorized. So first thing is why we are doing what we are doing with SQL. So SQL is the language which is going to help us to interact with the data. So what do you mean by data? So what do you mean by data? So what is the importance of data? So data can be anything. If you're having the college students or if you're having the banking data or if you're having the supermarket data or if you're having some insurance data, there are a lot of any data which is having some information stored in the table. We can store data in the Excel form or you can store data. If you want to maintain more clarity, we are going to store data in the database. For that, we are going to create the tables. So how to start creating the table? So what is the syntax we are going to use to create the table, creating the table, alter the table? So what is the purpose of creating the table? How to create the table? So let's understand, you want to create your own data. Everybody having their own friends, like what kind of information you want to store? So you want to store the information like, so you want to some student ID, student name, student phone number, and student PIN code. This is the information you want to store. So how to store that information in the some table? So what database you can use? You can use any database like Oracle also you can use, and SQL Server also you can use, or any kind of databases you can use. But now I'm going to show you, we are not going to install any databases. So it is going to time taking process. We have cloud databases available in the market. I'm going to show you how we are going to use cloud database. So that is a demanding database Snowflake. So I will show you how to get that account, how to start creating the tables, how to start using all these commands. So these are all the options. I will create the setup tomorrow. I'll give you the how to start setting up the account and how to create the tables. So from there we are going to start and we'll try to understand all these commands. What is the purpose of create command? So what is the purpose of alter command? So what purpose we are using the drop, truncate, rename, all these commands we'll try to understand practically, and we'll try to create our own table. So what you need to do before coming to the next class, try to understand what are all the, you have college, everybody studied from college. What kind of information we can store in the college, like college code, college ID, student name. student roll number, student pin code, student address. So all that information you try to create and try to get that information. So same information we'll try to create will store in our table. We'll try to play with the data. So like that, we'll start slowly. In tomorrow's session, most of the time I'm going to cover all the basic commands like how to create, how to insert data, how to see the data, all those information. So going forward from tomorrow onwards, I'm going to give some 2-3 questions after the session. We need to complete and we need to come up with your own answers. Like that, we'll plan and discuss from the going forward. So this is mostly everyone should get some idea on, like, I learned something today. This is the purpose of we are doing this. So first, we should know the purpose, then only we can learn. If you don't know the purpose, what we are learning, it won't help. Every command here, what is the purpose of using this? Why I'm going to use this? So then only we can able to understand, we can able to anytime after 6 months also, yeah, what is alter? Yeah, alter is used to do this purpose. That's the reason we are using alter. Like that, you can remember these points going forward whenever you get time. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to set up your account. I will show you how to get the account, how to start creating the tables. Try to think about what are the different data you can use, and we can create some information in that table about your friends' data or college data, any banking data, anything. You just think on your own and try to find what kind of information we can store in the table, so that that information is going to reuse every time. So your data can be 10 records, your data can be 100 records or 1000 records or 1 lakh and 1 million. Any number of records you can see in your table. So you have to play with the larger amount of data, like how we are going to play, how we can access the data. So I'm stopping for today. So we'll try to continue tomorrow's session with the more details and practically with some tables. We'll create the tables and we'll try to insert data. We'll play with the data. So step by step, we'll try to start in the going forward sessions.
Sure.
Okay, thanks everyone. So if you have any questions, feel free to type in chat window. So we'll share the tomorrow's how we are at the same time we'll join. We'll share the tomorrow's meeting invite separately. Okay, so anyone don't have contact details and any information, and feel free to get in touch with one of the number. Like let me share that number in chat window. Just get in touch with her. So number you can 93816-23297. Just keep in touch. 93816-23297. If you want to continue session, you just register for this session. So tomorrow we are going to you for the only registered members, not everyone. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.